morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is English Bulletin with me, Utsa Bhatrai. The top stories first. Prime Minister Oli reshuffles the cabinet, swearing-in ceremony of the new ministers to take place today. NCP Secretariat meeting paves way for Prime Minister Oli to serve out a full term. Co-chair Dahal settles for executive head of the party. ATB says its investment target not being met in Nepal, asks government to focus on strategic changes. Rajapaksa brothers command power in Sri Lanka. New Prime Minister to be sworn in today. And English club Tottenham Hotspurs appoint Jose Mourinho as head coach. New coach brings in new backroom staffs. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has reshuffled the cabinet yesterday evening. According to the President's office, the cabinet has been reorganized as per the recommendation of the Council of Ministers based on Article 76, Clause 9 of the Constitution of Nepal 2015. The new ministers in the Oli-led cabinet are Hridesh Tripathi, Ghanshyam Bhusal, Lekraj Bhatta, Rameshwar Rai Yadav, Parvat Gurung and Basanta Kumar Nembang. Similarly, Motilal Dugar, Nauraj Rawat and Rambir Manandar have been appointed as state ministers. The swearing-in ceremony for the new ministers will take place at 11 a.m. today. The Secretariat meeting of the ruling Nepal Communist Party that concluded yesterday has divided the responsibility of the government and the party among the two co-chairs. The meeting, held at Prime Minister's official residence Balwatar, decided that Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli will continue as the nation's Prime Minister until his tenure ends in 2023, whereas co-chair of NCP Pushpa Kamal Dahal will be dealing with party-related affairs as NCP's executive head. The meeting has also decided that both the party and the government will cooperate under the joint leadership of both chairs. However, Prime Minister Oli will focus on the government affairs and co-chair Dahal will handle party responsibilities. The border safety meeting between the officials of Nepal and India began from yesterday in Pokhara. The border safety meeting is being conducted amidst the rising concerns about the border encroachment issue by India. The meeting, which is set to complete on Friday, is being attended by the Inspector General of Armed Police Force Shailendra Khanal from Nepal and Inspector General of SSB Rajesh Chandra from the Indian side. Inter-border crimes, combined police patrol, communication exchange are the three main issues on the agenda. The meeting, however, will not discuss on the issues of border encroachment and the highly debated political map of India. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The Inspector General of Nepal Police Sarvendra Khanal has said that Nepal Police remains free of inordinate and undue influence. Nepal Police has been making continued efforts to establish and strengthen the rule of law in Nepal, notwithstanding any kind of influence peddling within the police department, affirmed IGP Khanal. Speaking at an inauguration program in Kathmandu yesterday, IGP Khanal stated Nepal Police has started coordination with the government attorneys for fair and impartial investigations in criminal matters.
वकिल साहबहरुका त होइन भन्छु नै चल्छ कि भन्ने गलत रह्यो, केही वर्षसम्म रह्यो होला विगतदेखि केही र, तर अहिले छैन। तर छैन भनेर त्यहाँ गएर एस्योर पनि गराउनु पर्यो नि त, एस्युरेन्स दिनु पर्यो, आश्वस्त बनाउनु पर्यो। यो कार्यक्रमको अर्को मूल लक्ष्य भनेको त्यो आश्वस्त पार्ने पनि हो, जुन काम भइरहेछ। त्यो आश्वस्तता भएपछि के हुन्छ भने राज्यप्रतिको र सम्मान, हामी सबैको सम्मान बढ्छ। हामी कहिले-कहिले अफ ल्याङ्ग्वेज यसो बोल्ने गर्छौं।
Speaking at the same program, Attorney General Agni Prasad Kharel said that coordination program between the police and government attorneys has been introduced for effective investigation of criminal affairs.
सरकारी वकिल र प्रहरीको त उस्तै नै कामहरू हुन्छन्। एउटाले अनुसन्धान गर्छ, अर्कोले अभियोजन गर्छ फौजदारी मुद्दामा। कानुन पढाउने ठाउँहरूमा कानुनको विषयमा जानकारी दिने उद्देश्यले हामी जान्छौँ भने हामीले जोइन्टली जाँदाखेरि त्यसको म्यासेज पनि राम्रो जान्छ र विषय पनि समेटिन्छ। हामीलाई त्यस्तो लाग्यो। त्यसैले यस पटकदेखि हामीले लास्टचोटिदेखि जब हामीले कुरा देख्यौँ यस वर्षदेखि त्यो कार्यक्रम सञ्चालन गर्नुपर्छ भनेर आज हामीले एकैपटक 77 जिल्लाहरूमा बाल दिवसको दिन पारेर आज सबै जिल्लाहरूमा हामीले यो कार्यक्रम गरेका छौँ।
The coordination program launched on Wednesday will be carried out in all 77 districts. The 36th Regional Summit for Air Traffic Controllers for the Asia-Pacific region is set to begin in Kathmandu from today. The Nepal Air Traffic Controllers Association informed about the summit in a press conference organized yesterday. The representatives from 19 different nations of the Asia-Pacific region who are affiliated to the International Federation of Air Traffic Controllers Association will participate in the summit. The summit will primarily discuss on the exercises that help in maintaining smooth working interaction between technology and humans.
एभिएसन सेक्टरमा जुन टेक्नोलोजीहरुको डेभलपमेन्ट भइरहेको हुन्छ त्यो विषयमा पनि चाहिँ हामीलाई ब्रिफ लिन सजिलो हुन्छ। यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो कर्पोरेट हाउसहरुले चाहिँ आफ्नो एक्जिबिसनहरु राखेर र प्रेजेन्टेसन मार्फत चाहिँ हाम्रो साथीहरुलाई चाहिँ पार्टिसिपेट्सहरुलाई चाहिँ जानकारी दिन्छन्।
The three-day summit will see discussions on 5 different issues: aviation challenges and opportunities, similarities, ethics and strategies, management of air traffic development, and communication and safety. And now the news from Economic Front. Asian Development Bank has informed that its investment in the various projects in Nepal has not given good financial returns. In the trilateral portfolio review organized by the ADB in Kathmandu yesterday, the analyst said the inability to spend the allotted funds for various projects has become a major hurdle for development projects in Nepal. Mukhtar Khamudkhanov, the country director of ADB for Nepal, said the ADB is ready to support the government if it decides to make strategic improvements within the country. The government's reluctance to collaborate with ADB has made the target expenditure of over 350 million unable to be achieved. The Director General has asked the government to make changes in strategies to help ADB make these investments. The ADB had agreed to make investments of over $227 million in 2019 in Nepal.
In October this year, the Asian Development Bank has approved Country Partnership Strategy 2020-2024 for Nepal and Country Operation Business Plan for 2020-2022 that were prepared in close coordination with the government of Nepal. The strategy and Country Operation Business Plan show a significant increase of our annual lending for projects to be financed by the Asian Development Bank.
Revenue Secretary Sisir Dhungana said these review programs from ADB will help the Nepali government identify pitfalls and challenges that can be identified and avoided in the long run.
However, we noted that some issues are delays in contract award, low level of disbursement as compared to the targets are being repeated in the projects, which shows a low level of compliance of agreed actions.
The ADB has spent over $2.96 billion in Nepal. The ADB has investments in 31 projects and has provided loan support in 2 projects. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. newly elected Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday named his brother Mahinda as Prime Minister, cementing the grip on power of a clan credited with brutality crushing the Tamil Tigers a decade ago. Mahinda, a two-term president himself, will be sworn in as Prime Minister today following the resignation of Ranil Wickremesinghe after his party suffered a humiliating defeat at the weekend's presidential polls, AFP reported. The Rajapaksa brothers ruthlessly destroyed the Tamil Tigers to end Sri Lanka's decades-long civil war, with the security services they controlled accused of war crimes and multiple human rights abuses. During Mahinda's 2005-2015 rule, Sri Lanka also moved closer to China, borrowing almost $7 billion for infrastructure projects, many of which turned into white elephants mired in corruption. A spokesman for the new administration said Mahinda, 74, will be sworn in by the 70-year-old Gotabaya. Two older brothers, Basil and Chamal, are also active in politics. Gotabaya, a former army lieutenant colonel, was a defense secretary during Mahinda's decade as president. With the older Rajapaksa taking over as Prime Minister, Sri Lanka will for the first time have siblings at the helm. During the first Mahinda presidency, eldest brother Chamal was the Speaker of Parliament. Israel said its warplanes carried out a very intense attack against Iranian forces and Syrian army targets in Syria Wednesday. In raids, a monitoring group reported killed at least 23 people. AFP reported that the Israeli army confirmed they had carried out dozens of strikes against the Iranian elite Quds force and the Syrian military in response to 4 rockets fired at Israel a day before. Britain-based monitoring group the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said 23 people were killed in the strikes, 21 fighters and 2 civilians. 16 were non-Syrian fighters, the group's head Ramil Abdel Rahman said. Iran has fought alongside Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's forces in the country's 8-year civil war, heightening Israeli concern over the presence of its arch foe along its border. Whoever hurts us, we will hurt him, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a statement. Syria's civil war has been complicated by the involvement of multiple foreign powers, with Russian, Iranian and US forces on the ground backing various parties. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. English Premier League club Tottenham Hotspurs has appointed Portuguese Jose Mourinho as the new head coach. The news came right after the sacking of their previous coach Mauricio Pochettino. Jose Mourinho is better known in the footballers' community as the Special One, a nickname he gave to himself during his first stint in England with Chelsea FC. The Portuguese Jose Mourinho is the only ever manager to have won the Champions League with 2 different clubs, with Porto in 2004 and with Inter Milan in 2010. He has also won 3 Premiership titles with Chelsea, and in his latest stint with Manchester United in 2018, he also won the Europa League. In his first interview with the Spurs TV, Jose said, "I couldn't be happier and look forward to the challenge." Although Mourinho is known for his eccentricities in managing clubs, his new regime at Tottenham is expected to be different for all intents and purposes. Wales became the 20th and the final team to secure automatic qualification for Euro 2020 after beating Hungary in the final qualifiers on Tuesday. Wales will join Austria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland and Turkey, among others. However, there will be 6 top seeds for the Euro 2020 draw on November 30. Belgium, England, Italy, Germany, Spain and Ukraine. These are 16 teams in the playoffs who will compete with each other in 4 separate groups, and the winners will join the rest of the 20 teams to enter the group stage of the European Championship next year. The draw for the playoffs will take place on Friday, 22nd November. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Prime Minister Oli reshuffles the cabinet, swearing-in ceremony of the new ministers to take place today. NCP Secretariat meeting paves way for Prime Minister Oli to serve out a full term. Co-chair Dahal settles for executive head of the party. ADB says its investment target not being met in Nepal, asks government to focus on strategic changes. Rajapaksa brothers cement power in Sri Lanka, new Prime Minister to be sworn in today. And English club Tottenham Hotspurs appoint Jose Mourinho as head coach. New coach brings in new backroom staffs. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website, janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.